The Reserve Center was named Desiderio after Captain Reginald Desiderio, a Medal of Honor winner, distinguished veteran, distinguished for his valor and his service in both World War II and in the Korean conflict. And in particular, I want to call out, even ahead of the introductions, my dear friends Jim McDermott and Cynthia Kurtz, because really it was Jim McDermott's insistence, frankly, that if we were to go forward with this park, we must maintain a connection to Captain Desiderio and his family and what that stood for.
This is a man that is truly brave, that truly stands up for his country, and that did an amazing job in making sure that that area in Korea was defended.
It's an honor to be here to join this Plaque rededication ceremony for Captain Reginald Desiderio, who passed away in the line of duty during the Korean War. I'm very humbled and quite emotional to stand before this memorial plaque of such a great hero who sacrificed his life to defend freedom and democracy of my country that he never knew before.
His leadership and selfless act of valor continue to be an inspiration to our community. We are forever grateful for his bravery and service to our nation.
Shakespeare talks about, in another context, a royal captain walking from watch to watch, from tent to tent, and with a modest smile.
It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning, and I'd like to join with my good friend Steve Madison, with Mayor Bogart, and certainly with Victor Gordo and Bill Crowfoot, who I think we're all together. We've come to a conclusion, and it is to have a affordable housing where we thank Habitat for Humanities for their good work, working with the community, but also the planning of what I think we determined at the time would be a passive park, one that would blend in with the community, with the neighborhood, and this park does that.
Captain Desiderio distinguished himself by conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the repeated risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty. His company was given the mission of defending the command post of a task force against an enemy breakthrough. After personal reconnaissance during darkness and under intense enemy fire, he placed his men in defensive positions to repel an attack. Early in the action, he was wounded, but refused evacuation, and despite enemy fire, continued to move among his men, checking their positions and making sure that each element was prepared to receive the next attack. Again wounded, he continued to direct his men. By his inspiring leadership, he encouraged them to hold their position. In the subsequent fighting, when the fanatical enemy succeeded in penetrating the position, he personally charged them with carbine, rifle, and grenades, inflicting many casualties until he himself was mortally wounded.
I was 7. I did get to know him as well as you could for a 7-year-old. He was a devoted father. He took me everywhere with him that he could. He took me to work with him, even. He took my mother and I over to Germany. I remember him taking me down to the frozen Neckar River, and I would pretend to ice skate. He took me to his office with him. I'd ride around in his Jeep. He got back in the service and was assigned as the unit advisor to the Reserve Center that was on Colorado Boulevard here. And in summer of 1950, he was there, and he'd take me to work there. I remember this NCO was a Sergeant Coleman. He'd have me dumping trash and put this paper over there in that basket, stuff like that, running around. I thought it was a big deal. Anyway, then he went off to Korea. Over the years, I've been in contact with his comrades in World War II, some of them, and the ones in Korea, either by correspondence or in person. And to a man, they said, this man was a leader. He took care of us. We came first. His soldiers came first. He saw to them before he'd see to himself. It was just, and the citation testifies to that. This is just wonderful what the city's done here. These all the VIPs that showed up, the uniformed military personnel, and my family's just struck by what you've done here. It's wonderful, and I hope that that the people of Pasadena enjoy this park for many years to come. This is the kind of thing my dad, who really was, ironically, down deep inside a man of peace, would approve of right here.